Well, 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 what do we have here? We got a box. It's got a bunch of up arrows on it. All the way around. All right, let's open this thing up and see what's in here. I got my knife. Start cutting this baby open. Bunch of staples. Must be heavy. Let's see how heavy it is. What do we have here? This is the Wolf Ridge Firewood Bagger System. When I made the order for this unit, it was within the first 30 or 40 made. And with those orders, we got 100 bags to be used with this Firewood Bagger System. Now I ordered the 1 cubic foot Firewood Bagger. I have been making 0.75 cubic foot bundles. Now I'm upgrading to 1 cubic foot, so I'm gonna have to change my prices a little bit as well. I was asking $5 a bundle for 0.75. I'm gonna be going up to $7, I think, for the 1 cubic foot bundles. I'm also gonna do a deal of 3 for 20. So $7 each or 3 for $20. Now, as far as setup, it was quite easy to put together. There wasn't much for hardware that had to be put together. There was a couple bolts here to hold this bracket on that holds the dump. And then there's a couple bolts here that holds the bagging station or the tying station on. And then one big bolt here that attaches the swivel for the actual bagging bucket or whatever you want to call it. So let's get going by talking about why I switched from the 0.75 or 3/4 cubic foot bundles that I was making with the homemade jig to the 1 cubic foot bags that I'm making with this Wolf Ridge bagging station. The number one reason was just the overall process of making the bags is much easier with this bagging station. Now, if you check back to a video I made, here's one of them, but it's a very manual process. Got to manually load the individual pieces, make sure they fit in there perfectly inside that jig, and then manually wrap with shrink wrap, which is a very laborious, whatever word that is, process. A lot of squatting, and then remove it manually, and it's just a lot of work. So when I saw this bagging station come available and up for sale from Wolf Ridge Manufacturing, it was a no-brainer for me to just order one right away. I didn't even hesitate. Right away, as soon as I saw it, I ordered it. It was kind of an impulse buy, but it's a good impulse buy. It's improving my efficiency in the wood yard, making bundles. I can make more per hour. So while we talk about the bagging station, let's go over the process of how you actually make a bag of firewood in this. It's pretty simple. Just start dumping firewood in it. And pieces like this don't really work that well, so I'll save this for my loose stacks. It's too big. But efficiency is gained by picking out the right size pieces. Here in Wisconsin, we got to put a label in it, so I put my label down the side, along the edge, and there's usually some room where I can put it. And then just take the bag and place it over the top. Flip it over and dump. And then the process after that is pretty simple. Just grab onto the string, pull it tight, wrap on, do one quick loop with the string, and it's game over. Firewood bag made. So I try to tip it a little bit so I can access it, and then I pick out pieces that I'll fit. You don't have to be perfect. I mean, it's firewood. Another nice thing about this is look at these two different lengths. One's end of a log, and other one's kind of cut poorly. It doesn't really matter in this case. Now, if I were using the bagger or the bundler, it'd be more of a big deal to have pieces that are not the same length. So then I'll grab my label, slide a bag over the top, flip it over, fall out, and then give it a quick tie. Yank, grab, twist, tie. So this is what I do to tie. Here's the seam in the bag. I grab the string on the opposite side of the seam and just pull it tight, like so. And all I do is just take my right hand, grab on kind of in a backwards grip, and then I just kind of twist around, clockwise twist, and then wrap the string around the counterclockwise, and then grab on with my right hand, pull it through the loop that's made. Simple enough. Just tie it again. So grab on opposite, about opposite, pull it tight, right hand, backwards, clockwise rotation, counterclockwise rotation with the string, grab on, pull through the loop, game over. So I want to show you another method for tying these bags. I saw this one around our last trip out to Montana, and I thought it was quite neat idea, and it would make it a lot better, I think, for the customer. While these bags are really nice for the customer, this is just one step further that makes it even better for the customer. So basically what I need to do is we tie it. To tie it, actually you're not tying it, pull it tight, flip it on its side, and then all I do is just pull it down on the bottom, take a stapler, and put a couple staples in the string. Now you got a natural handle. So I'll show that to you again. I'll make another one. All right, so bring it over here. Now if I were to do this full time, I would for sure raise that stand up. We'll tighten the string, flip it on the side, bring it down, bring it together, and pound 2 staples in it, maybe 3. And now you have a nice, solid, grippy handle for a person to grab onto. The benefit I see in this is, in the method of using the bags as the handles, you gotta grab onto the ends. And these ends are kind of hard to hang on to if you don't have good grip strength. Whereas if I did this method, using the strings as the handles, you don't have to have as much grip strength to carry these bags. And these things are heavier than the regular bundle because they got more wood. So that's one benefit I see from that. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that full time yet. We'll see. I gotta maybe run some tests and see if it really adds that much more time. It's gonna add more costs, gotta buy staples, but it's minor. The downside I see is that these staples might be hard to pull out. If somebody decides that they want to pull out the string and save it, they're gonna have to cut the string to get it apart. So does this firewood bagger really make it more efficient for me to make a bundle of firewood? And the answer I have found is yes. Now in the previous bundler, which is right there, versus some of the tests I performed, it takes me about 1 minute to make one bundle, about thereabouts, plus or minus. So I could do about a bundle a minute, or 30 bundles in 30 minutes, 60 bundles in 60 minutes. But because that's such a manual process, you can get wore out after 30 minutes. You can get pretty tired. This is going to be better. It's going to be faster. I did perform a little test once initially when I first got this, and during that test, I timed myself. I made 23 bundles in 30 minutes. But since then, I have run some tests, and now I've improved the efficiency of this bagging station, to where I can make one bag or one bundle in about 45 seconds, 40 to 50 seconds. That equates to be about 80 per hour if I were to do, full hour's worth, which I don't typically do. So yes, this process is much more efficient. And I can do another little test here for you right now. Now that I've got 150 or so bags under my belt made, I can show you how efficient the process is. I'll do a 5-minute test. Let me grab my phone. And let's set a timer for 5 minutes. And on the start of go, I'll record the whole thing and see how many I can do in 5 minutes. I expect maybe 6 to 7, 8, I hope. So we'll see. So I'll pile them all up right here on the ground, or over there so I can stack them then. And then I'll go from there. So start the test. I'm gonna put my phone up here, ready, set, 5 minutes to go right now. So. Hope I got enough bags. There you go, timer's off. 10 seconds pass. So I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bundles, or 8 bags in 5 minutes. Before with this old guy, I'd make 5 bundles in 5 minutes and make 8 bags in 5 minutes with this one. More firewood, this has got higher volume and more money in 5 minutes compared to this guy. So let's talk about some pros and cons with this bagging station from Wolf Ridge Manufacturing. The first con that I think of, and let me know if there's any other in the comments below. There's probably some other cons I didn't think of, or some people might think of in their area. But the one I did think about is the extra cost of goods sold that I have to have when making these bags. And that extra cost is in the actual bags themselves. Where I get them from, they cost me 50 cents a piece. So that is one downside, is that I need to buy bags and supply bags for the bagger. That brings up the cost of goods for each individual item. The second one that I could think of, and this comes down to just the increased volume and also the increased cost of goods sold. It doesn't suit well with the way I was selling bundles before at $5 a piece. It was a smaller volume, 3/4 of a cubic foot. Now I moved up to 1 cubic foot. So the increased volume and the increased cost of goods lends itself to being where I probably should sell this for more. So $6 to $7 a piece will probably be a better sale price for these items, which isn't that ideal for a roadside stand. And roadside stands, you think you'd want to have nice even bills, $5, $10, $20. So having something that's cost more and requires me to sell it for more is kind of a negative in itself. So since we enjoy positivity, let's talk about the positives of selling or using the Firewood bagger station here. The first thing I thought of is that it is much easier for the customers to handle. Let's pretend that the old bundles were wrapped. On the cameras, I always saw them carrying one at a time. So you have to pick it up and carry it. Couldn't really grab onto the plastic wrap and carry it because it wasn't that strong to be able to just grab on the plastic wrap with one hand and carry it. You had to put 2 hands on each individual bundle. Now, with this method, using the bags, the person conceivably could come along and pick up 2 bags at a time and throw them in the car or whatever. Now, if we go through and use the staple method where I staple the strings on the bottom of the bags, that's going to improve things a lot more. The second thing I thought of is that these bags are cleaner. Kind of more professional look, I would say also. Just looks better, kind of stacks better, presents better in my opinion. The third thing that I thought of is that they're more efficient, easier to make, faster to make for me. Like I said, like I showed earlier, I can make 8 bags in 5 minutes or a 1 bag in about 45 to 50 seconds. Much more efficient than the way I was doing it before. I have not used a commercial firewood wrapper, only used my homemade jig that I've got here. So I don't know how fast I could really do it using a commercial firewood wrapper, but this is commercial as well. So, and the last pro that I thought of is that the customer is getting more wood. In this system, where I was making the 3/4 cubic foot firewood bundles, I would be putting about 5 to 7 pieces of wood in a bundle, depending on the size of the sticks. Whereas this, I can get anywhere from 7 to 10, depending on the size of the sticks. I didn't count any of these, but you're definitely getting more wood in the bag itself. So when you get more quantity, it's better for the customer, in my opinion. Now, there's probably many other pros and cons, and I didn't get them all here. This is what I thought of. If you have any other pros and cons you can think of when it comes to the firewood bagger and selling bagged firewood compared to a bundled firewood, or however else you want it. Maybe use string to wrap your bundles. Let me know what you think in the comments below about the bagged versus bundled versus string, or however you want to sell your firewood. Now, the 3/4 foot bundles that I was making up until the early part of this year using the homemade firewood bundler stand were pretty inexpensive to make. I had never actually calculated how much the shrink wrap cost per bundle, but the actual cost of the wood came to be just shy of $1, about 75 cents per bundle. So I made $4 about per bundle when I was selling those bundles. Now, when we jump to this 1 cubic foot bagging station from Wolf Ridge, of course, we're gonna be providing more firewood available. So the cost of goods of the firewood, of the actual goods themselves go up. But the other big cost that's added on because of the bags are the actual bags themselves, bringing the total cost for these particular bags of wood to be about $1.50 each. I've been working and selling them for $7 a piece now this summer, with a deal. If you buy 3 of them, you can buy 3 for $4.20. Just to make it a little simpler for calculations and for the customers when they're buying them. Put a $20 bill in, take 3 bundles with. So that's the pricing I'm doing this summer with the bags of firewood. $7 each, or 3 for $20. So at this point, I'm very, very happy with my purchase of the Wolf Ridge firewood bagging station. It has made the firewood business and the firewood process much more efficient. I've made approximately 150 bundles so far, and it's been very obvious to me that it's much more efficient than the old bundling station and the shrink wrap method that I used to use. I can make more than 8 per 5 minutes, or more than 1 a minute. And that's just much better than what I was doing with the old bundler. This also provides better customer experience, in my opinion. Customers are able to carry 2 at a time. It's a little bit cleaner for in the cars when they're hauling it away. And they also get more firewood as well. So that's always better. If they're happier, they get more firewood. Now, I'm gonna say this because I was not sponsored by Wolf Ridge to produce this video. I bought and paid for that firewood station, the bagging station there. And this is pure honesty, what my experience is with it. If you're looking to improve your firewood business and provide a better product for your customers, make your process a little more efficient. Now, I don't know if you're using a commercial bundler at all. Those might be more efficient. I have never used one, but compared to my old bundler, this was way more efficient, way better experience for me and my customers. So if you're looking at improving that, definitely take a look at the Wolf Ridge firewood bagging station. Highly recommended. So while we're done here, make sure you go check out my website. It's in the description below. There you're going to be able to find plans to the generator shed that I built and designed and have for sale, and also for the raised herb garden and mini garden that you can put on a patio, on your deck, wherever you want around your house. Those 2 plans are for sale on the website. The link is in the description below. And while you're at it, make sure you go check out this video here. I think you're gonna like it. And until we see you in the next one, thanks for watching. Bye. You see him? He's not too happy I'm sitting here.